You know what I was doing today in my sad, lonely, pathetic, geeky life? The one thing I like to...
What were you doing today?
Well, the one thing I like to do, more than anything, is just to take out all my geek treasures, my geek hoards, my geek trove, if you will, and just look at all my shit and admire how much stuff I've collected over the years. Don't you guys do that too?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Sometimes. But Starbeastrave, that sounds like you're a dragon with your hoard.
Well, you see, the thing is, TallestSilver, is that I have this theory that all geeks are in fact dragons that have evolved over the years to look like humans, because we think about it. We're all pretty sedentary, except when we're not. We like to collect treasures that we surround our bedding with. You know, we surround our sleeping area with our treasures that we've either stolen or bought, you know. And, you know, when we get into a rage, we destroy half the town, as geeks do. So there.
I do have fire breath.
There you go.
Where are my dragons? Dragons!
You are that dragon in the faraway, city of Los Angeles during the movie.
Yeah, and, you know, I am a dragon as well, and with me are other dragons, like a grocery store named Demon.
What up?
And there's a TallestSilver with us. She is also a dragon with silver scales, I assume.
Dragon!
And there's a dragon in a lake in the 777th lake, way over there.
Alright, I just like water, okay?
And there we go. So today I thought we could talk about, you know, what are some of your collections like? Because I know I've got a whole bunch of stuff ranging from comics, movies, figurines, and all sorts of little toys and trinkets. But I want to know about you. What do you have? What's your hoard like?
It's my collection. I have a whole grotto full of things.
Ooh, grotto, I like that. I'd expect that. I'd expect that from a mermaid.
I was about to say, it's a Little Mermaid reference.
Yeah, I'd
Ursula
expect
died,
that.
Ariel inherited the grotto.
Well,
No,
Ariel
that's-
is Disney's greatest hoarder. She also has a big geek hoard.
She is an anthropologist, I will have you know.
Those dingle hoppers need to be
Literally.
classified.
Right. Is anthropologist Mermaidian for hoarder? Because that's what I think.
Well, it just means her museum is, for herself.
Yeah.
It's a living, working museum that she's studying humans with. Okay. Admission for one, so low, because Daddy Dearest destroyed.
Actually, that's not true. Flounder was the only recurring customer of that museum.
He wasn't a customer. He was... he helped curate,
Right.
okay?
Until until his usefulness falls out and he becomes the buffet items. Anyway.
So
what is
rude.
what is your grotto full of, mermaid?
You know, I do collect statues. Well, only ones that I really absolutely think are beautiful.
Same here.
Typically of characters I cosplay. So I have several Poison Ivy statues.
Of course.
I have
I'm assuming
the Kotobukiya Scarlet Witch and Ivy and Lady Deadpool. That was the Comic-Con exclusive that Lord Jazor got me since I debuted Lady Deadpool at Comic-Con. So she gets a little tote.
I also am a big fan of the Kotobukiya. Personally, I know they're more pin-up savvy, that's made to make the girls look gorgeous and pretty. I would like it personally to see a Kotobukiya of an action pose myself. I think there's not enough of that.
Well, they do have some action poses. Like, I absolutely fell in love with Wanda Maximoff as the Kotobukiya statue because she's got a little tummy.
Nice.
She's got some thick thighs and stuff, and I'm like, I absolutely love her. And I have a Power Girl statue of Amanda Connor's design.
You gotta do
But
that.
my main vice that I must have would be actual props or things from movies or shows or comics.
Totally.
That I can have in real life.
I'm with
So,
you. If I could have several movie props, like if I could buy them, if I could go to an auction for, actual props or maybe replicas, I would totally buy the shit out of that as well.
Well, not even like the real things or something like that, but like I have a life-size Gur robot.
Aww.
And he has his little doggy suit and stuff. I've had it since I was a
where'd you
teenager.
get
Does he have good, important
I
question?
got it at a random comic book store in Ashland, Oregon when I went with my theater class to the Shakespeare Festival. I flipped out and was like, okay, this is mine now. He
Important
stands
question.
at like...
Yeah,
Important
that's when
question.
you went full on
A
dragon
foot?
mode. You had to get that.
Hold on.
I had to get it.
Very important question. Does he have room for the cupcake? Does he have room for the
He actually
cupcake?
does.
Oh my god.
He actually does.
Oh my god, he does.
He does. So his head, well, his whole body is plastic,
Right.
and his head, the little antenna, is like a lid, so you can like pop it open, and there's space in his head. His head is hollow, so you can,
That is awesome
put
as all
peanut
hell.
in there or a cupcake.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That is nice.
And I have the vampire teddy from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I have Cogsworth and Lumiere and Chip on my way to getting a proper, actual working pot for Mrs. Potts.
Did you get those at Disneyland or some such thing?
I got Lumiere at Disney World when we all went together.
That's right, we did do
Hell
that.
yeah.
We dragons.
Yeah,
We
and then-
dragons.
The goodest
Yeah,
of
sugar
times.
dragoning.
Yes, we.
And then
I
I,
like that
got
movie.
Cogsworth at Disneyland, and he's a real working clock.
Nice.
I recently just got Chip because he's an actual porcelain mug that has a little chip in it, and he's small, not the
Aw.
really big mugs that they've been selling. I used to have a little Sumomo robot too from Chavez. If anybody watched that.
Yeah, she's the little genie. She was the little genie chick.
Yeah,
I
she's the little
remember
teeny
like
one.
seeing commercials for that, but I never actually
Warning,
watched
warning!
So-
This is not a place to buy underpants.
Warning!
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah.
Yep.
Underpants. Sumomo is not a doggy chew toy.
Nice.
Yeah. So she was a little toy, and you pressed a button, and she fit in your hand, and she.
As she should. She's one of them tiny
As she
persicoms,
should.
so she has to fit in your handsies.
Exactly. She's a laptop.
Yep.
I have the Jazor got me the symbol plain monkey and Persian robes from Phantom of the Opera. Like, I love having actual things.
Well, because you're a
that is, like-
gigantic. Both you and Jazer are huge, gigantimous Phantom of the Opera fans with a PH.
Yeah. We are fans, PH. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
we're in
I'm.
the fandom.
That's actually what I was kind of hoping you'd get to, because I have to believe that you guys have like this huge trove of Phantom stuff somewhere in your rooms.
We do. Between the two of us, because we feed each other's obsession as well. It's really great. I got him a first edition English copy of Phantom of the Opera.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's over 100 years old, and it's in really good condition still. He's gotten me the musical book. It's the libretto, and then it also has behind the scenes things and stuff. I have a Lolita dress that's Angel of Music. I have a freaking Batman meets Phantom of the Opera comic,
Nice.
and a Sherlock Holmes meets Phantom of the Opera, and I have.
I'm gonna assume you have a cosplay or two of Christine's stuff.
I'm actually working on a musical version of Christine. Her wishing gown, it's the blue dress that has a waterfall bustle that she sings.
Nice.
Wishing you were somehow here again. That's several years in the making because it's slow. It's at a friend's house who knows historical costuming better than I.
Very cool.
I also have Christine's dressing gown, the iconic white ruffled robe that she wears. I have that. I have this really awful perfume that they released in the 90s. The bottle is beautiful. The perfume smells gross.
Well, I imagine so. It's now a little bit past the 30-year mark or close to it.
Yeah, it's not cute. It's just, it smells like
Angel of
It's
Music smells so badly. Perfume that's from the 90s.
it is.
Expired last year, this smells so badly. Please, Christine, do not spray me. There you go.
Coming to theaters
Yeah,
this
pretty
winter.
much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Better than Gerard Butler.
In smell-o-vision.
Yeah. Oh, another thing that I have that's really exclusive now that's hard to find
Ooh,
is
exclusive crap.
a jar from Disneyland that says Deadly Nightshade on it from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice. Oh, right.
And yeah, you can't get that anymore. And apparently you could only get it for a short time. So it's pretty exclusive.
Exclusivo.
But, gosh.
That's very odd. Yeah, because I know...
Szechuan sauce, but better.
Because I know alongside Phantom of the Opera, you guys are humongous Nightmare Before Christmas guys. You love it.
Yeah, that's true. Pro tip, something that's I haven't been able to collect except in my memories, and I kept the sheet of paper. I was actually judged for my Sally makeup in high school by one of the animators of Nightmare, and I won first prize.
Hot.
And he said that I was practically horribly perfect.
That's awesome, man.
Well,
you know you did something right when one of the creators or producers or whatever told you that it's good.
Exactly. And then I met the director of Corpse Bride at Comic-Con that year,
Nice.
and he said that I was very beautiful, and I'm like,
Very nice.
oh, thank you.
So you're full of statues and dresses and paraphernalia. That sounds great.
Well, what's funny is that when I was a little girl, I used to collect snow globes, and wherever I went, I would always get a snow globe if it was a new place. And I don't mean like, oh, the next town over. I mean like, oh, I traveled to Hawaii now to get a snow globe. So I still have some residual snow globes from that, but I've gotten rid of most of them because what am I going to do with them now?
Right.
Like,
Such is the fate of
sometimes-
all collections, really. Is eventually you're going to have to get rid of something.
yeah, because you need to prioritize and
You
figure
do.
out, is this still meaningful to me in some way?
Right.
Is this worth something?
Plus, you got to make room for new stuff. You're always going to have new obsessions.
God. Ain't that the life?
Yep, it is.
I hate throwing anything away, honestly. I don't
Well,
just manage to
Well,
find
don't
it
throw
cool.
it
What do
away.
you got?
Just, we'll sell it online.
While we're on the
And then you have
subject,
to,
what
like, do shipping.
what have you thrown away, Lewis? Or rather, what do you still have? Like, what do you got? Let's hear about your...
Let me see.
hear about your
I mean,
price.
I don't know. I've collected many things over the years, but the only thing I ever felt I collected to this day is books and comics. You know, anything with pages, really.
What kind of...
Since I was a-
What kind
We're
of
all
books?
nerds here.
Come on, what kind of
We all
books?
have our own
That's the
personal
closest thing
libraries.
What kind of books, damn you?
Yeah, I mean that's the closest thing. I
What
would
kind
say.
of
But,
filth
I mean,
do you read?
I don't know. My mom told me that I had a lot of books because she introduced me to reading very early on to English. You know, I kind of learned to read English sort of before Spanish in many ways. But I think the earliest memory I have of really loving a book was Harry Potter. Like I was in summer camp, not really loving it, honestly.
Yeah.
And my mom sent me the first Harry Potter. This is when it just came out. I was like 12 or something.
Right.
And yeah, I loved it. And immediately, as soon as I got out of the camp, I bought the other three. I think were out at the time. And yeah, when they kept coming out, I kept buying them. And then I'm like, I'm gonna need other stuff. And I kept finding other fantasy books and that sort of thing. And I still have them. I mean, they're right upstairs in my rooms right now, and they're old, dusty, but you know, I still read them now and then.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I mean, let me see. When I was a kid, I definitely loved action figures. You know, I got all the Transformers and GI Joes and Power Rangers, all that stuff. The only paraphernalia that I ever owned and still own was in 2008 when I just moved to Boston to start college. You know, Dark Knight came out, and that was a huge everything.
Oh, it took over the world
And,
for a
it
while.
was
Yeah, for a
pretty
hot
much, yeah. And it really is one of those movies that I really got obsessed at the time.
Well, yeah, everybody did.
So much. I think it came out in like July or August. I don't remember the exact month, but
June.
Halloween was around the corner, and I'm like, I need to do the Joker. I want to do the Joker so bad, like everybody else that year, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But I went online. And in eBay, I think they were selling supposedly those leftover suits. You know, when they're making a movie, they don't just have the one suit. They make like 10 or 12 or something. in case of anything. So they were selling some spares from Heath Ledger, from the movie apparently, and I just had to have one. I don't remember how I ate that month, but I put all my money together. It was like $1,500.
Wow.
And I bought the suit.
Damn, dude.
Do you still
that's
have
probably
it?
the most
Dude,
I still have it. Yeah. That's probably the most expensive thing I own.
Dude, even geeks who splurge hundreds of dollars at Comic-Con, they're looking at that like, damn, dude.
Yeah, there's some pictures of me if you can online somewhere as the Joker from that year. If you can find.
Well, that was back. That was back when you had long ass hair.
Yeah, when I was in my Jesus mode, as they used to call it.
Yeah.
I just, you have no idea how much I was into that movie at the time, and that's why it got started in the whole DC Bridge thing in a way.
I guess.
But that's probably the biggest spend that I've ever had for like a object or collector item or whatever.
Right.
And I used it that year. I mean, like a friend of mine did the makeup and all that stuff, and I just went out. I remember I went to class, like, because Halloween was like a Thursday that year, and I just went to class in the middle of the day, dressed like that, because it takes a while to get the makeup. But yeah, it's somewhere in my closet right now, stored, and I only used it like 3 times, but it's so cool.
Cryogenically preserved for the next time you need to be the Joker.
I hope so. I'm afraid that one day I'm just going to open it and it's going to be like eaten by bugs or something. It's just, but it's, that was probably the biggest collector's thing that I ever bought.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I also was really into Pokemon cards when I was like 8
Oh,
or 9.
you and everybody else.
Pokemon!
Dude, Pokemon cards
I still
are...
have
You were
those.
going to open up that can of worms.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, I've still got my binder of hollows. I'm never giving that shit up.
Oh my god, the binders, though.
You have to understand, where I grew up, there was not a lot of geekdom, in general. So I
Yes.
was like odd kid out.
Okay,
It was,
but-
like, that was,
but-
watching.
but this is
cartoons and that kind of
Pokemon.
thing. But that was the one thing that everybody my age got into somehow.
Well,
was
yeah.
Pokemon and Pokemon cards. And
Pokemon cards were an institution, man. They were a business. I started a business out of Pokemon cards.
I made it priority
Okay,
to spend
what
all of my
was-
money on cards when I was young.
Same here, man. Same here.
What was everyone's first Pokemon card? Do you remember?
Yeah,
Charizard.
No, not mine. My first Pokemon card was a little booster pack, and I remember there being a Charmander, a Squirtle, a Sandshrew, an Oddish, and a Paris. That's all I remember, though.
Wow.
What, no energy cards?
Well, yeah, there were a ton of those, but I elected to ignore them because I hated those. I threw them away.
Everybody ignores those. Like, come on.
We had whole stacks of
I know,
just
but it's
energy
just like,
cards.
I refuse to believe you got
Dude,
a booster
dude,
pack
nobody
without any of
nobody
them.
actually played the game. We just collected them and we threw all the energy cards and all
Right?
the stuff just in their own little packs.
Oh, no, I was way more into it, man. I went to tournaments. I played against people for prizes.
yeah, but nobody
the game
cared,
was just
though.
too lame.
Yeah.
I collected them and had like adventures with my cards.
The game was too confusing for me. I just like to collect. I just liked having a book of shininess. I like that.
You wanted to get all 150, so yeah, you kept
Oh,
buying
yeah.
those.
Oh yeah, totally.
DemonGroceryStore. What was yours first one?
Mine was a Venusaur, which was perfect because Bulbasaur was my favorite Pokemon.
Nice.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was Ponyta because at school there were these benches on the playground and stuff, and all the kids that were playing Pokemon, and at first it was only boys that were playing. They would sit on the benches and they would trade or fight or whatever. And I kept pestering a bunch of my guy friends. I'm like, that one's cute. No, that one's cute. No, that one's cute. I want one. I want one. I want one. I want one. And so I was I was relentless in bugging them until finally they were like, fine, here, just take this. And it was Ponyta. And I'm like, Ponyta's hooves are 100 times harder than Diamond. My Ponyta can beat all of y'all Pokemon. She'll just trample them, right?
Biology
So I
is
absolutely
fun.
That's adorable.
fell in love
Pokemon
with
biology is a
Ponyta.
lot of fun like that.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yep.
And then that afternoon, I caught the show that was on UPN.
Yeah, back when that meant something.
that meant something. And the first episode I watched was when they met Vulpix. And I'm like, well, I guess I would just be a fire type trainer because these are so cute.
Plus, you have
And then,
a
like-
mane like Ponyta's. You have a fiery red mane just like Ponyta, so it makes sense. You know how they say trainers or Pokemon look like they're trainers? It just happens. It just is.
It just happens.
It just is.
Yeah, I would have like all fairy types and all fire types.
Well, remember though,
Just-
the fairy type didn't exist back then. That's actually a pretty
Oh, I
recent
know.
thing. Yeah.
But like all the ones that I liked were, I guess, now classified as fairy.
Yeah, oh,
types.
yeah.
Like, well, Sylveon, hello.
Duh. I like personally. I like Napoleon. Ho ho ho, Ash. Ho ho ho. Its only move is surrender, but you know you get it.
Even worse than a Magikarp, yes.
Yeah, it's you can either use the
France
moves.
came
You
to
can
our
use,
aid in the American Revolution.
You can
no
either,
hating.
hey, Napoleon.
Vive la France.
Napoleon has a struggle type move. All it can do is either surrender or run away. That's all it does.
Napoleon used splash. Nothing happened.
Right, and you can't use rare candy on it unless it comes from a 4-star restaurant. I'm sorry, but these are the rules. These are the rules of Napoleon. That's right. Yeah, it has to be rarest candy. Also, it doesn't evolve. It just sort of, gets shorter. Anyway.
Stop perpetuating historical inaccuracies. Gosh.
These are the rules of Napoleon. I didn't write them. Pokemon God did. Anyway, Anthony, along with your various Pokemon cards, which I'm assuming, like the rest of us, you had 1.5 billion. What else did you collect? What else did you have in your hoard?
Let's see. Well, one thing that I have been that I really like are movies and TV shows, like just watching a series and becoming attached to it. And ever since I was young, I've been collecting DVDs and now Blu-rays, and I've been continuing to look for Blu-rays of things that haven't really been made anymore, like things that were popular before the Blu-rays were even a thing. And now I've just been expanding my collection with even more movies, and I know I can watch them online, but I just feel really good having something like that in my possession.
Oh, yeah.
Something I can hold in my hands.
Oh, totally. I'm the same way.
Do you have a laser disc?
Yeah.
You should have laser discs.
And that's why I love Funimation, because they've been re-releasing a bunch of animes in high quality Blu-ray stuff before that aren't even we're out in the 90s.
That's
and
good.
I just love going to conventions, seeing what they've got now, and trying
stuff
not
that
to spend all of my money on them.
Stuff that used to be out of print is actually making a lot of comebacks. Like I remember when FLCL. Physical prints of SLCL were extremely expensive. They went for like $500 on eBay, but they just reprinted them, and they're like they're starting to reprint old anime and give you physical copies, because as convenient and nice as it is to download, you gotta have that physical copy. I mean, what if the internet goes out? What if the power goes out? At least you want something physical.
Exactly. Whenever I'm bored, I just look to my collection and see something I haven't played in a while, and okay, pop it in.
Well, let's. So your movie collection, you'd say, is your biggest thing. What does that entail? Like, what do you got? What do you got?
For anime stuff, mostly things that was on Toonami a while back. I have Trigun. Let's see, I have
Nice.
Star, the Code Geass.
Nice.
I don't have to tell you how much I love Code Geass, so I'm glad I got that on Blu-ray too. I've been trying to get the original Dragon Balls on Blu-ray, and yeah, they're numerous, but it's
You
worth it to see
gotta
them in
have
high
the
quality.
original dub or nothing at all. You gotta have it, man.
I love the Toonami dub. Defined my
The
life.
one with the
because
opening.
it's so-
Dragon.
You gotta have the dub where Frieza says, the balls, I want to caress them.
The balls are inert.
The balls are inert.
No, it's an infamous line from Piccolo. The balls are inert. He just says that.
inert. Yeah, the original dub, you gotta have. I mean, the original dub just cannot be beat. It's too funny.
Like, I love what they're doing with
I love the opening.
remakes and DBZ Kai, but the Bruce Falconer soundtrack and the original Funimation crew first acting, that will always be my Dragon Ball.
Oh, you collect soundtracks too, do you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I've used to collect them on CDs, but now since they're harder to find, I've just been trying to find them online.
Nice. Oh, tell me, you must have the 4Kids Pokemon stuff. You must have that, like, to be a master, Pokemon master.
Pokemon Master.
Oh God, I sung those songs.
Team
The original Pokemon soundtrack.
Rockets,
I remember that.
rocket trouble, rocket trouble, yeah, capture Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Do unto others is our
What the heck?
golden rule. Oh God, that was the
They
And like
the
they did
Pokemon
the
rap.
opening, their motto, but they were slightly like
faster, hip hoppy.
doing it to
protect the world from
devastation,
to unite all peoples within our nation. To denounce the
No,
evils.
it was the last line James said.
Yeah.
He was like,
he did that little horse whinny
no,
thing.
he said like, rocket blast off at the
Speed of light.
light.
Surrender
now.
now. Prepare to
fight.
fight. That's
Right?
right.
It was just-
Yep. But I love the part where like, I'm so gorgeous. I'm always the man. You're just the players in my master plan. Dun, dun, dun.
That's
Oh,
right.
God. And who can forget? Who can forget the
Gosh,
Michael
Don't,
Jackson?
don't forget the Misty Love song, man. That
Oh,
made me question, like,
forget
That
that.
was slow jam.
when's this coming?
Screw Misty and her damn romance. I'm all about going to Viridian City. City, I'm on the road.
We're on the road to Viridian City.
'Cause it's the only-
so many
I was-
times for
I-
hours.
I would try so hard to remember the Pokemon, the original one with 150.
I only know the
Gotta
last
catch 'em all,
verse.
gotta catch 'em all.
I-
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
I know the last verse.
I only got to like the first two stanzas,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I can't.
I can
It
do
was
it.
the last couple verses
Yeah.
that I knew. Charmeleon.
Wartortle, Mewtwo, Tentacruel, Aerodactyl, Ammonite,
I keep hearing you guys, so
Slowpoke.
it's messing me up.
Mewtwo. Yeah. Well, the last one's easy to remember because it's the last one, but I can do it when the guy is singing the original. You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part. I can sing it when he's singing, but like on my own, I always forget what's what.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Damn. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Those are good times indeed.
Children's programming was
I
always
never
good
collected
times.
soundtracks, but
That's a good thing to collect.
finding that music.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, anytime there's a Disney movie with, obviously that's a musical, I always buy the soundtrack.
Nice.
I bet if you put me in a dark room and play the Little Mermaid soundtrack, I will fall asleep before that soundtrack is over with, because that's what I used to listen to as a toddler,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then Beauty, like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. I have all those soundtracks on cassette,
Nice.
Nice.
and then
Oh,
I still collect the CDs.
I had those too.
Cassettes.
I had the Disney cassettes too, but not really the soundtracks. I had the books on tape, like
Books on tape.
yeah, like they had one for Lion King, which was like his ancestor. I had one for that. I had one another adventure for Alice. I had a whole bunch of those Disney cassette tapes, like the one that did the full thing for Hercules. Listened to that one a lot.
And then when they had like to turn the page,
Yeah,
like they had that.
yeah, those were
Yeah,
great.
they had like a magical.
I still have some
Or
of those.
there was one, Bony Legs. I love that one.
Nice.
Or Baba Yaga.
Yeah. Ah.
And they would say, "Turn the page."
Yep. Yeah, they would also,
Yeah.
at the beginning of every story, they'd give you a cue. Whenever you hear that, turn the page, you little animal. Just do it.
Because you can't read.
We're teaching you about the Pavlov effect before you even know what it is. Turn the page when you hear the sound. Turn the page.
Pavlov did awful things to those dogs.
Yeah. Turn the page, wash your hands. Turn the page, wash your
Turn the
hands.
page,
And then you turn the page.
And then I turn the page.
And then you
and
wash your
your
hands. For those of you who don't know, we're referencing Rocco. Watch Rocco's Modern Life, you damn peons. Watch it.
It's coming
It
back.
is. In a major way. Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life. It's not Ren and Stimpy, but it's close. Anyway.
It's not. But yeah.
Wait, is it actually coming back? Like for real?
Yeah, they released a trailer over the summer. Rocco like steps out of his house and everything is
We're not in the 90s
in
anymore.
2017, and he's like, I don't
I
think
thought it
we're in
was,
the 90s anymore.
Yeah.
I thought it was Hey Arnold that was coming
No,
back.
well,
Yeah,
They
Hey
have a
Arnold's
movie.
coming back.
well, Hey Arnold's not. No, yeah, Hey Arnold had a conclusion movie. It's not getting another series.
Yeah, Zim's gonna
Oh,
get a
okay.
movie. Rocco's gonna have a thing. A lot of 90s cartoons
They
are
want
coming
money,
out.
and
they're
Those
probably
are
We
gonna
just
get
had
it.
the.
You know what? If you're gonna bring back something like Real Monsters, make sure Guillermo del Toro is directing it, because frankly, he's the only one that knows anything about monsters right now.
Yes.
Tell me you wouldn't watch a reboot of Real
Lasky
Monsters.
Supo can handle their stuff.
Yeah.
Lasky Supo could handle
I
it.
guess, but tell me you don't want Real Monsters as directed by Guillermo del Toro. Come on.
No, that would be live action.
Crumb is the pale man's son, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Oh my god.
He is. He is. Crumb is the Pale
we've already
Man's
met
son.
Crumb's father.
Yeah, but that's his.
He just has extra hairy pits.
That's his
Pale Man
that's
is
his
Crumb's,
stepfather.
like, Spanish uncle.
there we
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. The Pale Man is his relative. Let's agree on that. It's his relative.
We have to build this universe as much as we can.
Yeah,
Yes,
why
that is
not?
canon now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I think we've kind of exhausted what our collections are.
I guess so.
True that.
I mean,
And unless somebody else has a secret basement full of stuff they haven't shared before.
I have my cosplay closet, but that's not really collections. That's like...
Well,
You've accumulated them over the years.
Oh,
I have.
I guess. I mean, I pretty much...
My Lolita closet, but that's not...
I pretty much have everything you guys have, except to an unhealthy degree. I also have many statues, varying in, type, size, and quality. I usually have to splurge for the most quality ones. I have one that costs like $600. I had to have it though. I can't go for the cheap stuff when it comes to my figures. And then,
That's fair.
like Anthony, I've got a whole bunch of DVDs as well. Mostly anime, mostly movies. A lot of Disney.
Good.
Disney gets ya.
Disney does.
Disney gets
Oh
ya.
yeah, Disney does get me. It takes my damn money every time.
That reminds me of another thing that we used to do as a family. When we used to go down to Disneyland every year when I was little, and every time we would go, we would get these little porcelain figurines that Disney used to sell.
My mom's...
Does anybody remember those?
I don't, but my mom goes to that store every time we go down Main Street, and she still has some of her originals.
Yeah, so they weren't like crystals or anything. They were just simple porcelain
Yeah, just the little porcelain.
figures. And I still have them. I have my Bambi, and I have Mufasa and Simba and Nala, and we had several of them.
Mom's got a Cheshire
they were
cat.
really well crafted.
Yeah. I know my mom's got a Cheshire cat porcelain. She's got... I know she's got Sleeping Beauty, because she's a big fan of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah,
I think she's
they had
got
really
a
nice porcelain ones.
couple Beauty and the Beasts, little objects, dancing, singing serpents.
Remember I had like Pocahontas at one point?
Yeah, back before people thought it was really, really bad.
My favorite figure I think I have is Othello Jack that Jason just got me for my birthday. So, story with Othello Jack. He was a Comic-Con exclusive one year, and I had initially bought him, but I gave him to my awful and abusive boyfriend at the time.
Aw.
And
So you didn't get it back, did you?
No. But like I should have gotten one for myself, but I didn't. And what's great is that it's Jack Skellington in Shakespeare garb, and he's listed as Othello.
Nice.
Like, take that, racists. Jack's black. What? And it's just something I've always regretted. And so Jason, for my birthday this past year, got him for me. And he has a cape,
awesome.
and it's velvet, and his outfit is satin, and he's posable. And yes, he can take off his head to recite Shakespearean quotations.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I know what you're talking about.
He's masterfully crafted.
That is very cool.
That's one of my favorite figures in my collection.
That is
He got you the
cool.
same one?
What is, let me...
What?
He got you the same one?
Yeah, so it was an exclusive. So they had, several figures. Like, there's only so many figures of it made. And he
That is
found
so
one.
sweet.
I know, because he's wonderful. And
I'm
it's
sorry,
like,
that's just-
it comes... Like, okay, I gave it away to somebody who didn't deserve it, and somebody who is completely the polar opposite and wonderful in every capacity has, like, brought it back to me.
Nice.
Jason is awesome.
Oh God, that's
Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you all something. Everybody here.
Yeah.
What is, let's go one by one. What is your most expensive? What is your most memorable? And what is your most just all-time crown jewel of your collection? Like, it can be any manner of factors, but like, which one is the most expensive and which one do you cherish the most? Sylv, I think you just said yours, but if you didn't, tell us. Your most expensive or your most memorable or cherished or both? Either way.
Shoot. My Othello Jack is very, very important to me. I'm trying to think of what is my most expensive thing, because I tend not to
I'd imagine one of your costumes.
want to have... Honestly, my wishing gown is one of my most expensive, and Lewis helped me out with that one, getting the fabric. The fabric alone cost over $300.
Damn!
I remember.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like taking my time for so long on it, because I want to make sure this is right.
God, I hope it's made of dragon
so
scales and fairy skin if they're going to charge you that much.
Not.
Close enough.
It's
I
not.
demand
It's
actual
just
magic
it's
if
cotton
it's that much.
sateen.
Yeah. I hope it's made from
But
baby
it's-
seals.
Well, here's the thing. It was like $20 a yard, right? And I needed about... No, it was like $25 a yard. No, it was $30 a yard because I got 10 yards of it.
Nice.
And it's a ball gown, right?
Yep.
They're big. They have a lot of fabric.
That's a big ball.
So if you have an expensive fabric and you need a lot of yards of it, and you're gonna be SOL. But
You gotta go to them balls, man.
yeah, I think that would be it if that counts.
That does.
As part of my collection.
That does.
Or when the eventuality of Jazor and I getting married and combining our Phantom things, it would probably be the first edition I got him.
Ooh.
That was money.
Oh.
I like that you're going to combine your collections to make them both even
I
stronger.
see. I guess so.
Exactly.
You did not buy that for $1.
So a very memorable
And
figure.
eventually, I want to get him the first edition French copy, which is very expensive.
I bet.
In the thousands
Anything
of dollars.
anything first edition's bound to be breaking banks.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, never mind. My first edition copy of Nightmare Before Christmas is like $80. It's not.
Hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of gas money.
It's nothing to see. I got it for $8.
Nice.
I know.
Very
It was
nice.
at a used bookstore, and I'm like, no way. And they had penciled in at 80, and like the person was like, no, that can't be right. I'll give it to you for 8. And then I'm like, oh no, it's a first edition. Oh no, they must know. Oh
Score.
Quick, get it and leave before they realize it.
Yep.
no. Go, go, go.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Put it in the back of the
yeah.
van before they realize it's got the gold star on it.
Move.
Go! Go, damn it. Alrighty. Well, that all sounds
How
wonderful.
about you guys?
Yeah, Lewis, what is yours? What is your most cherished geek item? Your most expensive? The one, I mean, I think we heard what you spent your damn money on, but like, I'm actually wondering what $10,000 thing you got.
The most cherished, and what's the other one?
Okay, give us your most cherished one and your most expensive.
Just two.
You know,
just
It
two,
could be
okay.
both. Who knows?
I mean, the most expensive is what I said before. That costume is still the most expensive thing I have ever bought for myself, and it was my first and last cosplay. Probably.
What was it again?
But you know, it was, the Joker cosplay was like one of the spares from the Dark Knight movie. When they were,
And what did it?
I don't think Heath Ledger ever wore that
What did
one.
it cost
but,
you?
know,
What did it cost you to wear the skin of Heath Ledger?
It was 1,500 and something. I don't remember. It was like 1,570 something. Like that. Yeah, this was 2008. So
Too much. Anyway,
Let's put a smile on that wallet.
and you know, though that was definitely the best Halloween I've ever had at that point. I mean, it was the best Halloween in terms of where I participated, but not the best one. The best one was the ones I've had with you
I
guys.
see.
Aww.
Aww, that was
God
so
bless.
smalty.
Yeah, you have to understand. I mean, I kind of compensated because where I grew up, we didn't have Halloween at all. So when that year, that was my first Halloween. I kinda
Easy,
just, like,
easy
went
on the
all way
easy
in.
on the Halloween sweetness there, Lewis. You're gonna give us diabetes. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, so that was my only experience dressing up and all that, but it was worth it. You
I
know,
bet
if you're gonna do it once, do it
well,
right.
hence,
right?
I mean, again, that's
You're only gonna do it once
right.
ever?
Do it right.
Well, I mean, I guess I could still do it. I mean, there's no age limit.
There's never an age limit, dude. Not for
Yeah.
Halloween.
Never.
I wouldn't do it here, but we won't get into that. But
No. You know what? Going back to there's never an age limit, my mom is deeply considering about being General Leia for Comic-Con this year.
Why not?
And
That
I'm
would
so
be
proud
awesome.
of her. And she's like, I've been researching her costumes. And I'm just like, Mama,
Yes,
Yeah.
do it.
welcome to cosplay. I'm so proud of you.
as far as you said, cherish, right? The other thing.
Yeah.
Yes. The other one is which one you
let me
cherish
think.
the most. Which one means the most? Which one are you never gonna part with?
I'm between two things. Let me see. One of them would be the signed copy of His Majesty's Dragon, which is probably my favorite book, signed by the author.
Aww.
The original British edition, which is really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, I really love that book, and I love having the signed copy there. The other thing, but this is a weird one. I'm going to admit this now, but a few years ago, I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, Silver here and Lord Jacer gifted me with a very large mariachi sombrero.
Oh.
that I made a big fuss about, like, only you guys can get away with this. And it's true, only you guys can get away with it. But despite that, I look at it very fondly because it's.
That's so nice. That's so sad.
Well, here's the thing: it's really nicely made too.
It is.
It's a beautiful mariachi hat, and we
I
got
forget,
it.
Where did you guys bought it?
I got it. Thank you very much. Because the running joke was that a lot of people are really ignorant, surprise, surprise, and will be like, "Oh, Lewis is from Mexico, right?" And no, he is not.
For the record, I'm not.
He's not. There's nothing wrong with being from Mexico, but not
No.
Latino people are Mexican.
Exactly.
Fact of life. So that was a running joke where if we were like, "What are you, Mexican?" Right?
And again, as she says this, keep in mind, only they can make that joke to me.
Right.
Whatever.
And because we're making fun of people who are ignorant. And that's the joke. We're not ridiculing Lewis in any capacity.
No.
And so...
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
We're ridiculing Lewis for the giant raft he brings every time he sleeps over with one of us.
You know what? You know what?
Bed, and he will
I considered saying the raft. I almost said the raft.
You guys out there
to share a bed with anyone
out there listening,
even if it will be like saving money or something, and it's a big bed. No, he refuses to share a bed. He has to bring the raft.
Guys out there, anyone listening to this, if you're never gonna know this, but this dude has this air mattress that could seat 20 people. I mean, my God, it fills the room. It's so when I saw it, I actually thought we were going kayaking. But anywho, okay, so Anthony.
Every time we get together, I bring the raft, and funny enough, I think Paul has slept in it more than me at this point. Though.
If you say so.
Whatever. Well, we were explaining the story of the sombrero.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So Jazor would always tease Lewis that one day we're going to get him a sombrero. Well, I went to Isla Mujeres, which is an island near Cancun. And lo and behold, they had these gorgeous sombreros. And so I messaged him being like, "Oh my God, Jazor, should I get it?" And at first, we were going to get you a really little one that was like for a doll. Right? So it'd be like, "Oh, this is fun, this is cute, like, ha ha ha," right? And then I'm like, no.
I'm glad you went with the one you did.
You know what? No, if we're gonna go sombrero, we're gonna go sombrero. And there were different colors and detailing, so the black one I got you, we were like, this is it. This is the winner. Lewis is gonna love this. And he's gonna laugh, and he's gonna think of us.
Yeah, I grumbled obviously, but I do it like that. Oh, this is awful. You guys.
Oh yeah, he had some grumble pants about it, which we expected, but it wasn't malicious in any capacity.
Yeah, it's a running joke that's been going on for years. I mean, practically since I met you, Sam. It's silver shit. We'll edit that out, right?
Nope, that's staying.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere, pal.
But sorry. But what was I saying? Yeah, but no, it's like it stems. It has layers, stemming on from like I'm very anti, Taco Bell and that kind of thing.
Oh my God!
Which is why we always force you to eat Taco Bell.
Chipotle and Taco Bell.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, when we all got Chipotle and Lewis had it and he was just grumbly eating his burrito so unhappily.
Look, listen, you have to understand, when you've eaten the real thing, like in the country, and it's like, you see the bastardization of it and you're like, this is wrong.
Well, yeah, but it's still To be fair, burritos are actually Tex-Mex.
I mean, I get it. That's America, and that's fine. I'm not like against the concept of it. I'm just sort of like
you were so unhappy eating your burrito. You had the grumpiest face, just like I don't like it.
Yeah, they get on me a lot. Like I remember we were like, "What do we get to eat?" I'm like, "Not Chipotle," and everybody's like, "Let's get Chipotle."
Chipotle.
Well, this can all be solved.
Guys.
This can all be solved with one thing, Lewis. You just have to wear your collective sombrero much tighter next time. That's all that needs to happen.
I will say, I thought of the sombrero because, the movie Coco came out recently. I'm not going to lie. The first thing I did when I got home from watching it after I wiped the tears away was put the soundtrack on Spotify and then just put the sombrero on and sing along. I love mariachi music. I do. My grandfather used to listen to it when I was a kid, so I would sit with him sometimes and he would play like the Malagueña, Solarosa, and things like that. So I'm very fond of it to a degree.
Hard to believe.
So, I love the sombrero.
Hard to believe.
I'm just never going to admit it out loud until now.
Hard to believe a sombrero can evoke so many emotions. While we're on the subject, Anthony, what's your sombrero? What's your collectible? Your most expensive or your most cherished sombrero like his?
Okay, Wells, you know that anime DVDs are getting more and more expensive. The most expensive one that I've bought was the complete Gurren Lagann series, and this was when Aniplex took over. For those of you who don't know, Aniplex is infamous for charging ridiculous amounts for their shows, for all the shows they own. It's getting more and more expensive to buy from them, and yeah, I spent about $400 on this Gurren Lagann collection. I justified
all that
because
for one.
It is
for what? For like
that's
box?
a robbery, dude.
For like a
Gurren
full
Lagann. It is the entire series, the OVAs, behind the scenes stuff, the soundtrack. So I justified it from there, but still, it was really expensive.
Okay, so I was just gonna say. I thought
you could just probably watch it on Crunchyroll now.
Oh yeah, you can watch it on Netflix.
I thought you bought a box set.
Oh.
That was going to make me a little concerned. I'm like, $400 for a box set, you just got ripped off, pal. But now that you're telling me it's a full-on package, that makes me feel a little better. Because I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that's nothing. You should see the Fate series, how much they charge for that on Aniplex.
I believe
I'm going
it.
to have to take out another student loan to afford those.
Yeah, or another mortgage. What about, well, we've heard about what you blew your money on. Now, what do you cherish the most?
Let's see, the thing that I do cherish the most is my Code Geass collection, and that's because I managed to get it signed by Johnny Ong Bosch and Karen Strassman.
The
They play
Black
the two
Power
main
Ranger?
characters there.
You got the Black Frog Power Ranger to
Yes.
sign your thing? Oh, I love him. He's such a doll.
Yeah, Adam Park himself signed it.
I bet he told you he was a frog right before he signed it. I hope you framed that shit with a little frog thing right on top, just to make it complete. A nice gilded frog.
He's the blackest ranger that was never black.
That's one thing I like doing now, taking the stuff I've purchased to conventions to get them signed by the people who worked on them. It makes it so much more special that they would
Absolutely.
take the time to autograph it for me.
Oh yeah, autographs are the the greatest things ever, man. It's like you don't even. A lot of people get their stuff autographed to resell. I say, what's the point? Get yourself a picture.
Right?
Get a picture of you signing.
Sign that out to me.
That's right,
Keeping
man.
this forever. I'm never going to let
I
my
mean,
signed
autograph
stuff go.
is cool if it's
Same
something you're passionate about or you're really into. But I mean, yeah, that's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, hell, that can be faked anyway. But no, I understand. But I understand why. I mean, I'm with you. I like getting stuff signed, and I can see why that's your favorite.
Whatever works. I mean, I don't know. I aside from that book I mentioned, I don't know if there's anything I've ever been like, I need this person to sign this thing they made. Like
I actually do that quite often myself.
Yeah.
I've actually got a lot of ink on a lot of my stuff. If I went through all of it, it might take a while. I got the guy who voiced Kurtz Weber from Full Metal Panic to sign me DVD. Let's see. He also plays Tamaki from Oron High School. So he's a total sweetheart of a guy. He's awesome. He loves his fans. I also got Mikuto Asahina to sign my Haruhi box. She's the sweetest little thing you ever saw.
I do own another thing that's signed, although this was a gift. Malcolm, our friend Malcolm Ray, This was like a year or so ago when he went to Florida for the first time with us. He gifted me a Nostalgia Critic DVD signed by him.
Well, that doesn't
that I still own.
Doesn't count. He's
I still own it.
He's
really
our
cool.
friend. He doesn't count anymore. I mean, yes, he's a celebrity.
No, yeah, but he just gave me that. I'm just like, oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, yeah, I get it. That's cool. And in the hands of a fan, that might be that way. But come on, he's our friend. That's like if we were
I
friends.
know.
With...
I get it. Like he's used to sign them. I'm just like, well, I mean. I would have been like, I don't need your signature. I have you.
Yeah.
You're my autograph, Malcolm.
I'm going to put you in a box. Never removed from box, Malcolm. And he roars when you press his belly.
This got weird real quick.
Yeah, well, hey, blame Malcolm. Malcolm's the tiger-loving guy. He's the guy that likes to dress like a tiger. He's the guy that likes to roar like a tiger. Malcolm, you're a tiger. And that's what tigers do. They roar.
You know, for you, I would have said that. That poster you got of the Titans. You know, if you had signed that by the cast, that would probably be your best, right?
My most expensive. I think I mentioned this before, but I splurged a lot of money on. Thankfully, I got this for a steal. I'm a big fan of the Legend of Zelda series. Huge fan. I love all their mythology. I love their stories. I just recently got the Hyrule Historia book, which is this gorgeous concept art book. But I would say the most expensive thing I have is this Twilight Princess Midna figurine, which is character Midna riding on Wolf Link.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
I got it a while ago. And thankfully, the people I got it from, they didn't know what they had. Because they were selling that shit for $400. And its retail value was at least $600 to $700. And now I'm going on eBay, and people are selling that shit for over $1,000 because there's only 1,000 units. Whoa. So I would say that, and plus, like I said, I absolutely adore the character. So that Midna statue is the most expensive, one of my crown jewels. Absolutely love it. But the one I cherish most, the one collection I cherish most is going back to Pokemon again because I know y'all love that. When I was a kid. Aside from Pokemon cards, I also collected the little mini figurines, the little action figures. I took every one I could get my hands on. I've got over 100 of them in a little box, and I've kept them since childhood. I played with them almost more than any other toy, except for maybe Legos. And I remember at one point I needed money, and I wasn't playing with them anymore, and I was considering selling them. My mom's like, no. My mom's like, I will buy them from you. You are not selling those things. You are obsessed with them. You love those things. I will buy them from you. Mom was adamant. Like, she's like, she would not let me sell them unless it was to her. Because
that's a good mom.
She is. And I thank her every day for that because she is totally right. I am so glad I still have them. I still get them out and look at them every now and again, especially on Pokemon Day. And, but yeah, that would be the one I cherish the most are those little... packets of just that little box of Pokemon toys. Oh, and maybe this applies to the rest of you too. Also, my con swag. You know what I'm talking about. That collection of
I do.
That collection
badges
of,
and bags.
Oh yeah, totally.
Free shit.
I still got all the badges, got all the bags, and most importantly, I got all the art. Because I love that artist alley. I pilfer it every time I go. I get a Todd Knox sketch. I commission the artists. I got a whole wall full of nothing but Comic-Con art, prints and sketches and commissions and crap. I love that stuff.
I ever got the one art from an artist at the convention. Well, you were with me actually. Paul.
Yes,
Remember
I was.
When we got the Young Justice.
And
one?
actually, you got two.
Yeah.
You got two. You got one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got one. I think you got.
I got one from.
You got a Robin from
Mr. Knock that you mentioned.
Yes, Todd Knock. Todd Knock drew you a Robin with Avi. And then I forget who else you asked, but
I remember Steve Gordon or Stephen Gordon.
Yeah, Steve Gordon. He drew
made...
you Aqualad with an afro.
Yeah. No. He drew the entire team like side by side, with including like Superboy with the Russian vodka.
You're right. You're right. Actually, Stephen Gordon. He was at the Pasadena Comic-Con today. I was gonna go by there, but I didn't get the chance. But yeah, Steve Gordon. Actually, he's acquainted with some of us, isn't he, Sylv?
Yeah.
Absolutely. For those who don't know, he's
drawn me.
He's a fantastic artist. He was responsible for X-Men Evolution.
He did X-Men Evolution.
Yep.
And he was an animator for The Swan Princess and Cool World.
Lots of cool stuff.
And
some of those Ralph.
Lots of things. He did Wolverine and the X-Men too.
Yeah, he does a lot of Marvel. He did a lot of Marvel. But
his big thing is being the designer for X-Men Evolution,
which is one of my favorite.
I remember that
before
show.
Titans. That was my show. Before Teen Titans came along, that was my big show.
Right.
X-Men Evolution,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
The X-Men was everybody's favorite team show.
Hell
not
yeah.
not just X-Men, X-Men Evo.
Yep. It's one thing I regret not collecting. There was a ton of X-Men Evolution merchandise over the years. Never got on board. Though I did get Steve Gordon to sign some a Nightcrawler and a Toad print from his original sketch designs, so that's at least something.
He's so wonderful at cons. Like, he interacts with the fans so well, and he's just one of the nicest guys out there.
He's a doll. Most of those artists are. They're great.
Oh, absolutely.
Collecting from them is awesome because you get that experience. Like, it's just like going into a geek shop. You go in and you get something you don't even know you want yet, but you know you want it. It's the same thing as going up to an artist. You don't even know you don't.
The only thing that leaves sad from that con is your wallet.
Right? Yeah. Well, but that's the woe of every collector because unlike dragons, our funds are not replenished. They just keep going and going and going, while our treasure... We have to spend treasure to make treasure. Dragons don't have to, but we do, Dip.
We work hard for our treasure.
We do.
So
But
hard.
we treasure it.
It's a labor of passion.
We treasure everything. And on that very depressing and money-losing notion in this era where all of us people our age are constantly losing money that we could be spending on geek stuff we like, I gotta say goodbye now before I cry. So, as always, I'm your host, poor as shit Starbeastrave, and alongside me is a TallestSilver,
Bye, everyone.
a DemonGroceryStore,
Remember, you guys are our greatest treasure.
and 777 lakes.
Sombrero! I'm just kidding. Anyway, just remember to like, subscribe, follow us here, also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Check out our other stuff like DC Your Bridge and Frontier Zero, and do that. Come on.
Keep collecting and getting poorer, you sad saps.
See you next week. Good night.
We'll be right there with you.
Losing money and gaining treasure. That's your job now.